Welcome to another edition of The Baseline. I'm Nick McCarville, and this year we are crunching the numbers like never before. Dr. Marco Reed, it's Rafael Nadal against Gael Monfils. Nadal owns a 12-2 record in their head-to-head. Where is this matchup won and lost?
Nick, it's all about intensity. The intensity that Rafa brings and the intensity that shows up with Gael Monfils.
Okay, so when we talk about intensity, that means work rate. Break that down for me.
Yeah, so remember, work rate, combination of distance, speed of movement, and the intensity of my changes of direction. So for Rafa, the equation's really simple. He needs to outwork his opponents. When he's done that over time, invariably he wins his matches. When he doesn't, typically, he's on the wrong end of a loss.
We saw that the other day against Sasha Zverev. He outworked him, but what about Monfils? What does he need to do against Rafa?
Yeah, he's an interesting one. Typically, we all marvel at Gael Monfils' athleticism.
Yes, we do.
However, it doesn't necessarily bear through in his work rate, or certainly hasn't done over time. So from 2014 through to 16, any time that Monfils has been pushed to work at 350 units, he's lost the match.
All right, so if he's pushed above that rate, that means danger zone for him. Let's go ahead and take a look at some vision of Rafa versus Monfils. This is the 2014 Australian Open.
Yeah, so great example where Rafa really stretches Monfils to work really hard in this point. So to survive, last the distance, Monfils needs a large amount of leg strength, great agility, and obviously the aerobic capacity to last the distance.
And we can see here it's going to be a 22-shot rally, and actually Monfils is going to change direction more than a dozen times.
Yeah, a large amount of load on the body, high work rate in this particular point and on each shot.
Okay, so we see that long point there, but what does Gael Monfils do next?
And this has been typical of Gael Monfils' approach following long points. Get out of jail card. Pulls out a drop shot from a metre behind the baseline because he's worked hard on the point prior.
All right, but some interesting numbers from this Australian Open. How have things changed in Gael Monfils in the numbers?
We're seeing a new Gael Monfils in 2017. We knew that threshold beforehand at 350, triggered a loss. Now, completely different. He's setting foot on court, prepared to work above that level. Fitness level is improved, strength level is improved, and intensity on court has matched that as a result.
Yeah, and he's talked about that a lot actually to the press, but what does he need to do? What does he need to execute on court as far as his game to beat Rafa?
Well, obviously he's got to bring it in terms of intensity. Beyond that, got to serve really, really well. And then equally, interestingly enough, this year as compared to all years past, he's tending to play more to the centre of the court, not being as aggressive, prepared to work through those points a little bit more. And that's borne out in the work rate numbers.
Yeah, fascinating. Less of a showman is Gael Monfils, but that could put him into the Australian Open quarterfinals. Thank you, Dr. Reed, and thanks everyone for watching. Join us again tomorrow on The Baseline.